Okay. Right. So I'll mute all the students so that there will be no disturbance from the student side. So I hope I will be audible to everyone, and we will be discussing through chat box. Okay, in case if you have any queries, you can ask me through chat box. So let me introduce myself and then Palay Technologies also. Okay, so I am Lokanatha. Got 16 years of experience in IT industry. Okay, so I'm heading the Microsoft Technologies team. Okay, training team. Microsoft Technologies training team I am heading. Okay, so with me in the team there are several people working. Okay, so other trainer names are Bharat, Soumya, Faisal, Ashwath, then Janit. So apart from me, so there are other 5 more trainers who will be involved in .NET training activities. Okay, so we will be teaching the students from very basic to advanced. So here while starting with .NET. Okay, so you are here to learn .NET technology. So when we are starting .NET, we assume that you have zero knowledge in computer science. Okay, so we will start from very basics. We assume that you don't know anything. Okay, because the people who will be joining for our course will be coming from different backgrounds. Okay, some people will be from mechanical background, some may be from civil, some may be from BSc physics mathematics, or maybe BSc some other branch. Even some people will be joining from BCom, some may be computer science people. So whoever they may be, so we will be starting from basic. We assume that you don't know anything. Okay, so from zero we will start explaining the concepts. Okay, so what are the concepts being explained as part of .NET? So let me briefly show you what are the contents being taught in our .NET technology. So let me show you. So let me show you the overall content. Okay, so this is the content. So in C# we will be covering these concepts. Okay, there are several concepts from basic to advanced. We will be covering everything. Then SQL Server. Okay, then web technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then ASP.NET, then ADO.NET, then MVC fully being covered, and then entity framework and LINQ. So apart from all these things, in order to clear the fresher interviews, mostly aptitude will be useful. So even we'll cover aptitude, and then we'll be taking mock interviews to make sure that you will be clearing the interviews in real when you are going for real interviews. Okay, so these mock interviews will really help you in clearing the regular interviews. So what is there inside mock interview? In the mock interview, normally in the mock interview we will be giving you set of questions which will be normally asked in the interviews. Okay, mostly 99% of the cases only those questions will be asked, because we are there in the industry from personally myself, I am there in the industry from past 16 years, and Palay Technology started around 11 years back. This is 12th year. So we have seen lakhs of interviews being conducted by different companies. Okay, we analyzed what questions being asked, and we have prepared the set of questions and the answers. How I answer as a professional, how I answer the same questions I have written. So same thing you are going to explain to the interviewers when you are going to the interviews. That is how you are going to clear the interviews. So you will get a proper subject knowledge which will be useful for working, and you will get subject knowledge for clearing the interviews, and hence you can easily clear the interviews. So there may be some people who are coming from different backgrounds who are having year gaps. Even for such kind of students, because we are having a tie-up with more than 5,900 plus companies. So obviously you will be getting easily interview calls through Polytechnologies. So we tied up with 5,900 plus IT companies. So we are having 8 members placement team working on daily basis for placing the people who are doing courses in Polytechnologies. Okay, so these numbers will be keep on increasing based on new clients being acquired. Okay, so mostly repeating companies will be coming, but sometimes new companies. Okay, the HRs will be going from one company to another company. Many cases I will be knowing. So that point of time when the HR goes, once they have good rapport with them, so once they have seen our candidates capability, so obviously they will be giving opportunities in new companies also. That is how it will be that is how we will be getting the new companies most of the cases. Okay, so whatever it is, so it is about course content and about me, about Palay Technologies. Okay, so let me introduce about Palay Technologies also, so that it will be definitely useful for you. Okay, so some of you may be knowing already about Palay Technologies, some of you may not be knowing, because some of you may be referred by your our old students, or maybe neighbors, relatives who has done courses in Palay Technologies. Some of you may be definitely new to Palay Technologies. So I'll explain what is Palay Technologies. So around 12 years back we started Palay Technologies. We completed 11 years. This is our 12th year. So in this 12 years, we trained and placed more than 1 lakh plus students. Okay, so this 1 lakh includes the students who came to directly Palay Technologies training, and sometimes we got opportunity for training the candidates who are selected by the candidates in the campuses. Okay, so maybe for Java training, .NET training, Python training. After that, there will be evaluation. Okay, so in the companies only, and we have strong tie-up with colleges present in Bangalore, across Karnataka, across Andhra Pradesh also. Okay, some tie-ups are there in Tamil Nadu as well. Okay, so we train the people who are there in colleges and we placed them. We have given the placement services to such kind of candidates also. Together, whatever it is, so directly we helped. Okay, through our training process, we have helped more than 1 lakh plus students by placing them in our 5,900 plus IT clients. Okay, there are some repeating companies which will be taking our candidates very repeatedly, frequently, which includes Tech Mahindra, frequent visitor to Palay Technologies, and then Happiest Minds. Okay, so then Mindtree, then Sonata Software. Okay, so I'm just talking about big companies only. CTS, Capgemini. Capgemini, again, two branches will be taking candidates from Palay Technologies, Capgemini and Capgemini Engineering. Okay, both are taking. So on and so forth. There are several clients. Some of the clients, mid-tier clients, will depend only on Palay Technologies for getting candidates. Okay, so some big companies will be giving opportunity for multiple vendors. I don't know. Okay, so this is about Palay Technologies, and yeah. Now let me yeah, so I think I have introduced Palay Technologies. Let us straight away go into .NET. So you are all here for learning a .NET. Okay, so let me explain what is .NET and what is use, and then we will start understanding what is there inside .NET. Okay, how to start with .NET. All those things we will start understanding one after the other. So first, let us try to understand what is .NET and who can learn. Okay, remember, anyone can learn .NET. Anyone can learn .NET. 1 minute, I'll take. Mama, cut చేస్తున్నాను కాల్ చేస్తున్నాను మామ. ఓకే ఇచ్చే. Okay, right. So anyone can able to do the .NET course. Okay, anyone can able to do the .NET course. Okay, so any degree holder can able to do the .NET course. Okay, someone is having. I'll explain. Meenakshi, I'll explain. Okay, so percentage criteria for placement, everything I'll explain. Once we complete this .NET discussion, I'll come back to that percentage criteria and everything. I'll assist you in clearing your queries. Okay, so any degree holder can able to do .NET. Okay, so and remember, you don't think that some prior knowledge in computer science is required for .NET. Some people will be thinking that. Some people will be thinking that people who are having computer science knowledge can only do .NET. Okay, that thinking itself is wrong. Okay, how I am saying wrong? Because I have seen many students who studied .NET who are not from computer science background and who became software engineers. One best example is myself. Okay, so around 16 years back, I started learning .NET. Okay, I was from mechanical engineering background. Okay, so just an example. Okay, so anyone and everyone can able to learn .NET. Okay, so any degree holder can able to learn .NET and they can able to easily get a job also. Okay, so now let us get into the details about .NET. Okay, so first let us try to understand what is .NET. .NET is a software platform. .NET is a software platform used for creating software applications. What is the use? It is used for creating software applications. .NET is a software platform used for creating software applications. What are the software applications? You can create web applications. Web applications are the applications which you will be accessing through browser. You will open Google Chrome browser, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, right? And then you will be typing some website address. Then you will get some output. Such kind of applications are called as web applications. Then you can create games. Okay, then you can create desktop application. So what is a desktop application? Desktop application is an application which you will be downloading it from internet. Normally you will get an exe file. You double click on that file so that the file will be installed or that software will be installed in your computer. Okay, so such kind of applications are called as desktop applications. So different types of applications you can create it by using .NET. Okay, so I believe you understood. So .NET is a software platform used for creating software applications. I believe everyone understood this. Now, what is there inside a platform? Let me explain. So I just now I told you that .NET is a software platform. So what is there inside a software platform? You take any software platform. Normally every platform will be having two things. One is a language and second one is a technology. Okay, there are several languages which includes C# language, VB.NET language, right? JScript.NET, something like this. 70 plus languages are supported in .NET. And when it comes to technology, we got ASP.NET. You don't worry about what is that ASP.NET, ADO.NET, all those things. Okay, there are several technologies are there. Okay, so every software platform is having normally two things. One is a language and second one is a technology. Now the first question here is whether to start our .NET learning with a language or with a technology. That is the first question. Now in order to understand this point, I will ask you one question and I want all of you to answer my question through chat box. Okay, I'll help you. Okay, first let me ask you the question. So in your childhood, let us say you started studying in school, in English medium school. Let us assume, right? You started your schooling in an English medium school. Now, where your education started, with which subject or with which language? Is it started with physics or is it started with chemistry or is it started with biology? So with which subject or with which language your study started? Can you answer my question? See, there is a relevancy with the topic. Okay, see, there is a relevance. That is why I'm talking. If it is irrelevant, we will never talk. Please answer my question in the chat box. Okay, so you started your schooling with chemistry. Okay, next, any other question, any other answer? Okay, so Nayana is saying chemistry, maths. Okay, right, but my question is, your schooling started with which topic or which subject? Okay, maths, chemistry, both are wrong answers. Okay, it is not started with chemistry or physics or biology, it is started with English. Yes, someone is answering correctly. So Mughal Naushad Ali, correct. Numbers and alphabets, yes, you are 100% correct. You are 100% correct. Our education started with English. English is a language, not a subject. Okay, so first you started learning ABCD. Okay, and then you started understanding then words, then sentences, then grammar, so on and so forth. After learning English language only, you went into other subjects, maybe physics, chemistry, biology, all those things. Now the question here is, why our education started with English language? If we are from English medium background, our education would have been started with English. Why with English? The answer is simple. If you take other subjects present in your schooling, your physics textbook will be written in English, your chemistry textbook will be written in English. Okay, your biology textbook will be written in English. So without knowing English, it will be very much difficult to, it will be very much difficult to understand this subject, because if you open physics textbook, it will be written in English language. Without knowing English, how will you read that? How will you understand that? It is highly impossible. Correct or not correct? Right? So in our schooling also, first we started our schooling with a language, and then slowly you started understanding different subjects which are written by using that language. For example, let's say I studied in Kannada medium school. First, in my childhood, I would have learned Kannada. After that, I would have learned the other subjects like physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, whatever it is. Okay, I hope you understood the point. Okay, so language first, subject next. Okay, all of you are clear? If you are clear, please type yes. Please type yes. If you are clear, please type yes. Right. Everyone, I want everyone to respond. See, if you are there in the class and if you are not responding, there is no use. Okay. Right. Very good. So many people responding. See, I want to know, even when you join for the regular classes, we want you to interact. Okay. Whether you are there in classroom or through online, we want you to answer our questions. Okay, only few answered. Karthikeyan answered, Venu answered, Mohan answered, Naushad Ali answered, Nayana answered, Meenakshi answered, and Neetu Sri also answered. Okay, so somewhere around another three people did not answer. Okay, I don't know. Yes, Mohan, Sandeep. Yes, thank you. Right. See, it is all about understanding the subject properly. First thing is, we should know whether you understood the points properly or not. Okay, very good. Now we understood that even in our education, school education, first we started our schooling with a language, right? Mostly with English language. If we have started our education in English medium school, then we started slowly learning the other subjects. Okay, same way here. Same way here. Same way, even .NET learning also, you must start with a language. Okay, so these technologies are almost equivalent to subjects like physics, chemistry, mathematics. Okay, physics subject cannot exist without writing it in English, correct, inside a textbook. So same way here. So these technologies cannot exist, right? Or you cannot write this technologies code without using a language. So you have to learn language first, then technologies next. Then do we need to learn all 70 plus languages? Answer is no. Why no? Because if you want to learn 70 plus languages, you will get 70 years age. By that time, I will pass away. Correct. So it is not possible to learn all languages. It is 100% not possible. Then how many languages you need to learn? You must learn only one language, that is C# language. Okay. So why C# language? Because while developing software applications by using .NET, we will be learning C sharp language or will be using C sharp language in 99.99% of the cases. Let us say in software industry, let us say 10,000 applications created. In that 9,990 applications will be created by using C sharp. So you don't need to bother about remaining 10. Okay. So I believe you understood. So let us focus more on the C sharp language and let us understand only one language, that is C sharp language. After learning C sharp language, then we will start learning these technologies, ASP.NET, ADO.NET, many things will be there. Okay. So I request you to not write on my screen. Okay. Yeah, listen. So when we are learning technologies, okay, let us say for example you wanted to write ASP.NET code. So which language you will be using for writing ASP.NET code? Definitely C sharp. You cannot write ASP.NET code without using C sharp. Similar way, physics textbook cannot exist without having English language. Correct, no? Right? If it is English medium school, physics textbook, no one can able to write it without using English language in that. Same way here also, ADO.NET cannot exist without C sharp. Okay, ADO.NET code you will be writing in C sharp. Similar way, MVC code you will be writing in C sharp. Even there is one more thing called as entity framework. Even that you will be writing it by using C sharp. There is something called as LINQ. Even that you will be writing by using C sharp. You take any technology present in .NET, so definitely you will be using C sharp language. Now we understood that .NET is having two things, language and technology. We must start learning .NET with a language. Which language? C sharp language. And after that we will go into technologies. Now let us start with C sharp language. We understood that we must start our .NET learning with C sharp language. Okay. So remember, I already told you C sharp is a language. Every language will be having rules. Okay. And then uh, uh, some keywords will be there. Okay. Keywords will be there. So rules will be there, keywords will be there. Like however your English language is having alphabets. However, your just a minute. So in English language, when you are learning English language, first you will be learning alphabets. After that, you will be learning words. Okay, different words. Okay, A for apple, B for boy. There are many things you are going to learn throughout your education. Then you are going to learn sentences. Then parallelly you will learn grammar. After learning sentences and grammar, you will learn paragraph reading. Correct? So this is the sequence. Similar way, while learning C sharp language also, there are keywords and rules, and there are a lot of topics in C sharp language. Let me explain what are the different topics you are going to learn in C sharp language. In C sharp, you are going to learn data types first. However, English language understanding will be starting with alphabets like A, B, C, D, then words, then sentences, then grammar, then paragraph. Okay, sentence grammar goes together. So this is the sequence of learning English. Similar way, in C sharp also, you must start learning C sharp language in a particular sequence. If you don't learn in that sequence, you will not understand C sharp. What is that sequence? Let me write. C sharp learning starts with data types and then class, then objects, then methods, then conditions, then arrays, then loops, right? So on and so forth. There are many topics. So finally, structures. Okay. Once you come to the structures concept, you can say almost you completed the C sharp understanding. So what is the first topic which you are going to learn in C sharp? Data types. Like however you started learning alphabets, in the same way your C sharp learning will be starting with data types. Okay. I hope everyone understood. Now let me introduce you to data types. Okay, so I already told you that anyone can able to learn the .NET very easily. So because it requires only common sense to learn .NET, so you don't need any computer science knowledge or maybe any other knowledge. Okay, only just common sense is required for learning .NET. Okay, so let us start learning data types. Okay, it is just simple. So anyone knows what is data type? Can anyone tell me what is data type? You can type in the chat box. If you know what is data type, please type. If you think that you know about data type, please type what is data type. Otherwise, you also type. If you don't know, don't know. You can type don't know. Not an issue. You can type anything. If you know, you type the answer. Okay, string and float. Okay, next. Don't know, don't know. Okay, int. Next. Next. Others. See, if you know, you can type. Or otherwise, if you don't know, you type don't know. That will be enough. But I want your answer. Don't know. Okay. Okay, don't know. Correct, correct. Okay, very good. Now let me help you. Okay, so let me explain what is data type. So you can see my shirt is having pocket. Okay, so tell me why my shirt is having pocket. What is the reason? Most of the cases, so your shirt and pants will be having pockets. Why? What is the use? What is the use of pocket? It is common sense. Okay, no computer science is involved over here. Correct. So I'm asking, what is the use of having a pocket? Okay, maybe for your shirt or pant, whatever. Right. Naushad Ali is 100% correct. Right. So my shirt is, sorry, my shirt is having pocket to store the items. Okay, maybe if I want to store my phone or if I want to store my pen, okay, so I can able to store it in my pocket. Correct. So that is use. So my pocket will act as a container for storing some items, some things. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. Right. Same way in computer science, data type is a place in computer for storing data. Data type is a place in computer for storing data. It is just a place in computer. In what part of computer? Say computer will be having lot of parts. You will be computer will be having keyboard, monitor, all those things. But where the data will be stored? So very simple. Every computer will be having something called as a RAM. What is that? RAM. Random access memory. RAM. So there your space will be allocated. So I already told you data type is a place in computer's RAM memory. RAM stands for random access memory. Okay, I think you would have seen if you open computer, you will see RAM. In that RAM, some place will be allocated for storing data. That place only we are calling it as data type. Whichever place you are storing data, that place I can call it as data type. Data type is a place for storing data. I already some students already told examples for the data types. Okay, so there are different data types available in the C# language. One is int, float. There are many things. Okay, so each data type is capable of storing different types of data. Okay, I will ask you again few more questions so that you will get clarity about data types. But first, you tell me what is a data type. You take any computer-based programming language. Data type is a place for storing data. Data type is what? It is a place for storing data. That's all. Okay. For learning all these things, computer science knowledge is not required. Just common sense. Okay. Now let us understand the next point. Okay. Now I'll ask you some question. Let us say I wanted to store this pen inside my pocket. Can I do that? Yes. Right. So I want to store this phone in my pocket. Can I do it? Yes. Okay. I want to store the laptop which is used by one of the person who is sitting behind. Okay, some student maybe, or maybe some student. So I want to store that laptop in my pocket. Can I do that? Not possible. Why it is not possible? Because that laptop will not fit into my pocket. Correct? That laptop will not fit into my pocket. Okay. So because size, so laptop is bigger and my pocket is smaller. So obviously that laptop I cannot store it in my pocket. So it means that size restrictions will be there. Correct? So same way, even in data types also size restrictions are there. I will explain about that size restrictions later. Now, I will ask you one more question. Let us say there is some water in my water bottle. I want to store that water every day when I am coming from my home. Instead of carrying water in a bottle, I want to pour that water in my pocket. I'll ask my wife to pour water in my pocket and I want to come to office. Can I do that? What do you feel about this? Right? So good idea or bad idea? It is not good idea. It is not bad idea. It is worst idea. Correct. Obviously, I cannot store water, okay, in my pocket. It is not possible because this pocket is designed for storing only solid items, not for storing liquid items. I believe you understood. Yes or no? Right? So my pocket is not designed for storing water. In computer science also, or in C# language also, some data types are designed for storing only numbers. Okay, plain numbers. Some data types are designed for storing only plain numbers. Plain numbers means 78 is a plain number, 16 is a plain number, 98 is a plain number. Some data types are designed for storing only decimal numbers. What are the decimal numbers? 98.7 can be a decimal number. Okay, 22.4 can be a decimal number, so on and so forth. Okay, floating point value. Some data types are designed for storing either true or false. Okay, some data types are designed for storing anything and everything. I can store ABCDs, I can store special symbols, I can store numbers, anything and everything I can able to store it. I believe you understood the point. Yes sir. Yes sir. See, what I am trying to explain here is different data types are there in C# language which are used for different purposes. Some data types are used for storing only plain numbers. Some are used for storing decimal values. Some are used for storing only true false. Some are used for storing anything and everything. I hope everyone understood. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now before going to the data types which are present in C#, okay, C# supports multiple data types. Like some data types can store plain numbers, some can store decimals, some can store anything and everything, some can store only true or false. So there are many such kind of data types are there in C# language. But before giving the list of those data types available in C#, so for your better understanding of the subject, what I want to do, I want to explain some real world containers which you have seen with your eyes on day-to-day basis. So in your regular life, I want to show such kind of 3 or 4 containers, maximum 3 containers, so that you can able to relate those containers with your C# data type so that your learning will be easy. Okay. Now let me introduce such kind of data types, sorry, containers in the real world. Just a minute. Okay. So some real world containers I would like to show you. Okay, first one is a bottle. Though I am not good in drawing, okay, I am showing a bottle. So let us say I got one more container, bag. Okay, let us say this is a 1 liter bottle and let us say this is a 1 kg bag. And let us say I also have something called as balloon. You know balloon, right? Balloon container. Okay, wherein you can able to blow air, you can play with balloon. Kids will be blowing air into the balloon so that it will be increasing its size. Correct? So total 3 containers I am showing. Okay, why I am showing all these things? Is it related to subject? Yes. So if something is related to subject, that only we will talk. We will never talk unwanted things. Okay. So finally our goal is your job. So your goal is your job and our goal is also your job. We'll teach you technology properly. Then we will send you to the interviews and we'll make sure that you will be clearing that interviews through proper interview analysis and then mock interviews, many things. Okay, whatever. Let me come back to the topic. So now you tell me, uh, how much water I can able to store it in this 1 liter bottle. There is 1 liter bottle. How much water I can store? You can type in the chat box. Maximum how much water I can store in 1 liter bottle? I want you to answer through chat box. 1 liter only, correct na? So Naushad Ali, correct. So maximum 1 liter of water I can store, right? So yeah, Nayana correct, Neetu Sri correct, yes, Sandeep correct, okay, Meenakshi correct. So maximum 1 liter of water only we can store, okay. So Karthikeyan correct, yes, right. So maximum 1 liter of water only we can store. Now I'll ask you one more question. So I have 500 ml of water or half liter of water somewhere in some other container. I want to store that water in this container. Can I do that? Yes, right. Less than 1 liter you can store. Similar way, I have 1 kg bag. So maximum how many items I can store here? Maximum I can store 1 kg items, not more than that. But if I have less items, I can store. Now let us say I stored 500 ml of water in this bottle. Then what is the size of the bottle? If I store 500 ml of water in the bottle, what is the size of the bottle? Please answer. In my bottle, I stored only 500 ml of water. Then what is the size of the bottle? Is it 500 ml or 1 liter? What is the size of the bottle? Yes. No, how it can be fine. See, I stored only 500 ml of water, but bottle size will not decrease if you store less items, correct? Right. Bottle size is 1 liter only, correct? Bottle size is 1 liter only. You store any amount of water, obviously bottle size is 1 liter only. So I can say it is a fixed size container. So by using this fixed size container, you can store maximum up to 1 liter, but less than 1 liter also you can store. Similar way, this bag is also fixed size. I can store maximum up to 1 kg, but less than 1 kg also you can store. Let us say I stored a half kg of tomato inside this bag. Then what is the size of the bag? Size of the bag is 1 kg only. Correct? Huh? Size of the bag is 1 kg only. It means that that bag is also fixed size container. So this bottle and then this bag both are fixed size containers. Now let us talk about this balloon. Okay, you know balloon, right? You assume that some company has manufactured a perfect balloon, okay, with 100% elasticity. Means it will expand unlimited size. Okay, let's say it is created with 100% elasticity. So if that is the case, if you keep blowing more air, it will keep increasing its size. Okay, infinite amount of size it can increase, correct? If you take out air, what will happen? It will reduce its size. Okay, so it can expand or contract based on the amount of items being stored inside the container, right? So this is varying size container. What is this container? Varying size. But whereas this is fixed size and this is also fixed size, correct? Because bottle size will not vary with respect to the amount of water being stored. Even bag size will not vary with respect to the amount of items being stored in the bag. But this balloon is not like that. It can increase its size, it can decrease its size, and hence I call it as varying size container. It can store 0 to infinite amount of air if you manufacture it properly, right? So same way in C# language also, C# data types are categorized into two types. Can you guess what are the two types? Yes, it is fixed size data types, then varying size data types. However, we have fixed size containers and varying size containers. In the same way, we got fixed size data types and varying size data types. I hope you understood. Now, let me show you the list of data types which will fall under that fixed size and varying size category. Just give me a moment. Let me show you list of data types. Yeah, C# language data types are now categorized into two types. What are the two types? fixed size data types and varying size data types. Am I audible clearly? Yes sir. Type S if I am audible clearly. Yes. Okay, very good. Right. So now let us try to understand what are the different types of data types used are present in C# language. Right. Okay. Okay. So right, I hope I am audible to everyone. Yeah, very good. Now let us try to understand what are the different types of data types available in C# language. C# language primarily supports these two types of data types. Okay, now you see this. So you can able to see the fixed size containers or fixed size data types here. You can see fixed size data types here, and you can see varying size data types here. Like however we observed in real world, okay, fixed size containers and varying size containers. Same way in C# language, you will see fixed size data types and varying size data types. What are the data types available in C# language which will come under fixed size? You observe there are different data types: long, ulang, int, uint, short, ushort, byte, sbyte, char, bool, float, double decimal. These are the names of the data types which are available in C# language, which will fall under fixed size category. I hope you understood. Okay. Now some students may get a doubt. So how to remember this? Answer is you have to remember this. However, you remembered A, B, C, D in English language in the same way. You learned, you remembered the spelling for apple, correct? So you remembered this spelling for boy. Okay, C for cat you remembered. So in however the way you remembered, I also want you to remember these things. Okay, what are those things? Data types: long, ulang, int, uint. Okay, so let me come back to this point. Okay, these are the data types which will fall under the fixed size category, but there is a way to remember this sequence. Okay, but before going to the sequence, first we will try to understand what are these bytes. Okay, you tell me, how will you measure tomatoes? Let us say you are going to shop for buying some tomatoes. So how will you measure those tomatoes? Will you ask for liters? Give me 2 liters of tomatoes, 5 liters of tomatoes? No, correct? What is the way? How will you ask? Normally you will ask in terms of kgs. So kg is the unit for measuring the tomatoes. Okay, similar way you went for buying some milk. Okay, so how will you ask for milk? In liters. Similar way, in computers, the space in computer will be measured by using bits and bytes. Okay, I already told you, the place created in the computer for storing data is technically called as data type. How will you measure the size of that place? Normally you will be measuring it by using bits and bytes. What is a bit? In computer's RAM memory, a bit is a smallest possible place. Okay, such kind of 8 places, 8 sequence of cells, such kind of 8 sequence of all cells are technically called as 1 byte. 1 byte. 1 byte is equivalent to 8 bits. So these are bits. Okay, 8 continuous bits is equivalent to 1 byte. I hope you understood. Okay, so that is the measurement, standard measurement for measuring the place in the computer's RAM. Okay, now let us go back to the point. Okay, let us say for some reason in my application I am trying to use long data type for storing some data. If I use long data type, how much place will be created in computer's RAM memory? Automatically it will create 8 bytes because the standard size is 8 bytes. Okay, if you use long data type for storing anything, automatically computer will allocate 8 bytes of place in the RAM. Similar way, if you use ulang, how much space will be created? 8 bytes. Observe, long size and ulang size both are same. Okay, I want you to remember. Next is int. Int size is 4 bytes. How will you remember this? 8 by 2 will give you 4. Then int and uint same, 4 bytes only. Then next one is short. Okay, so 4 by 2 is 2. So u short is also 2 bytes. Then again 2 by 2 is 1 byte, is 1 byte. S byte is also same. Then from here it will be multiplied into 2. 1 into 2, 2 bytes. Carry is 2 bytes. Okay, forget about bool. Bool size is 1 bit. I want you to remember it. So then float is 4 bytes. 2 into 2 is 4. Okay, then double is 8. 4 into 2 is 8. Then decimal is 8 into 2, 16. That is how you can remember. If you use decimal data type for any reason in your application, it will automatically allocate 16 bytes of space in the computer RAM memory. I believe you understood. Okay, so even if you don't store full data, even if you store half data also, so the size of that decimal data type will be 16 bytes only. Like if you are having a bottle, if you store, let us say bottle size is 1 liter. If you store 500 ml of water in the bottle, so still the bottle size is 1 liter only. Same way here, if you use decimal data type, its size will be always 16 bytes, whether you store full data or not. I hope everyone understood. Yes or no? If you have understood all these points, please type yes in the chat box. Please type yes in the chat box. Right. It is simple. So computer science knowledge is not at all required for learning anything. Okay, because we are going to learn everything from beginning. We assume that you don't know anything. Okay, so then we will start understanding. Okay, very simple. Okay, very good. Happy for your reply. Thank you all. Indra, Venu, then who else? Mohan, Karthikeyan, Sandeep, Meenakshi, Naushad Ali. Okay, everyone is replying. Thank you. Now we understood that C# language is having fixed size data types and varying size data types. So what are the varying size data types? There are several varying size data types available in C#. What are they? So these are the varying size data types. What are they? String, array, class, object class, interface, delegate, enum, and structure. Even these data types are also data types only, but they will fall under varying size category. Then what is the size of these data types? These are varying size data types, so they are capable of storing unlimited data. Okay, 0 to infinite amount of data you can store it by using these data types. But by using a long, how much data you can store? Maximum 8 bytes of data, not more than that. I hope you understood. Okay, now okay, so if you ask me to store this pen in my pocket, I can store it because no one need to teach me this, because I would have observed my parents in my childhood days, and I would have observed a lot of people. I will be knowing how to store this pen in my pocket. But if I ask you to use the int data type for storing some data, you will not be knowing. Okay, that I should explain. How to use a data type for storing data? Answer is simple. You have to write some code for storing data. How to write the code? It is simple. If you want to use any data type for storing data, first you have to write that data type, and then you must give some name for that data type. So name can be anything. As a developer, you can give any name for that data type, and whatever the data you wanted to store, that data, and then semicolon. For example, let us say I wanted to store my age 40 by using int data type. Remember, int can store plain numbers. So now I want to, my requirement is I want to store my age 40. Okay, by using int data type. So let me use int first. Then what is the name I should give it for this int? What is this 40? Is it just a number? No, there is a meaning for it. What is the meaning? What is that 40? That 40 is age. So you give age as the name for this int, and the data is 40, and then semicolon. Now once this code is executed in my computer, 4 bytes of space will be created. Why 4 bytes? Because integer size is 4 bytes. Okay, what is stored inside this box? Inside computer, 40 will be stored. What is the name given for this box? Anyone can guess? Yes, age is the name given for this box. That's all, right? So this box is storing 40, the name given for this box or the name given for this place is age. Okay, so can I call this box as data type? Yes. Why? Because that is storing data. Whatever stores data, that I can call it as data type. Simple. I believe you understood. Yes or no? Whatever stores data, that is data type in the computer terminology. Okay. Now, if I want to see the data storage will happen in computers, RAM memory, you cannot see that with your eye. Then what is, then how will you believe that? Very simple. There is a printing statement. If you want to see what is there inside this box, there is a printing statement. In C language, you will use printf. In C sharp language, currently we are learning C sharp language, we will use console.writeLine for printing the data present in this age. Console.writeLine of age. Then in the computer monitor, you will see the output as 40. That is the way for seeing the data. I hope everyone understood. Okay, so something like this our course will be going, and anyone and everyone can able to easily understand irrespective of your background, year gaps and all those things. Now I am done with the class. Okay, so let me answer your queries one after the other. Yeah, first query asked by one student about percentage. Okay, so remember in Polytechnologies, Polytechnology is specialized in placing candidates who are having year gaps, and Polytechnology is specialized in giving interview calls to the students who are having less percentage in their BTech or BE or any degree. And obviously Polytechnologies will give you 100% guarantee for your job. Okay, how it is guaranteed? Let me explain. So till you get your first job, our interview calls support will be continuing. Interview calls support will be continuing, right? So normally your interview calls, in case if you are passed out in 2020 or 2021, so normally our course duration is 3.5 months, I think you will be knowing. Okay, but if you are passed out from 2020 or 2021, your interview calls will start normally after 20 to 25 days. Okay, because that time aptitude will get over, so that time your interviews will start. If you are having year gap, normally your interviews will start after 1.5 months, because that point of time basic C sharp and SQL will be covered. Many companies will be asking for the candidates who completed C sharp and SQL, and hence you can start getting interview calls after 1.5 months. And remember, most of the companies believes our training methodology. Okay, and the industry standard training provided to the candidates. That is the reason why companies will be recruiting. So that is why most of the cases they will not bother about your year of passing and then percentage, all those things. But there are some companies. Okay, I am not saying every company. There are some companies. Let us say Honeywell is there. Okay, Honeywell. So Honeywell, whatever we say, they will not take the candidates who are having year gaps. Okay, so and they will not take less percentage candidates. Okay, but there are n number of companies, almost 90% of the companies which will be taking candidates from Polytechnologies will not bother about your year of passing, percentage, all those things. But there are some companies definitely who will be asking for that percentage criteria, everything. Maximum cases we'll try to convince them to take everyone, but sometimes they'll not, sometimes they'll take. Okay, so what happened, no? Somewhere around 4 years back we got LG for the first time. So first time when they were taking the candidates, they were very strict about percentage criteria, but slowly we convinced them. So if you take only the candidates who are not having year gaps, okay, so you may miss out candidates who are having good percentages, who are having year gaps. They may be having year gaps because they are not bad candidates. They would have done some other work, maybe some prepared for government jobs, some did some other types of jobs, but they later they realized that they are uh, coming into the IT, so that is the best for them. So that is why they came into IT, because of good growth in IT, and they can able to utilize their thinking capability in IT. So we'll convince them. Then later they started taking the candidates from every branch and from every year of passing. Okay, so they did not restricted us. They started getting good candidates. So we have placement team of 8 candidates who will be talking to the HRs of the companies continuously. Okay, so Giving interview call is our responsibility. We will train you very clearly on the technologies, and we will train you on aptitude, and we will take mock interviews. In the mock interviews, we'll identify where is the possibility of your failure, and then we will explain, okay, this is where you have to improve all those things, and then we will send you to the interviews. Then you can happily clear the interviews. I hope I answered most of the questions. Yeah, still if you are having any questions, please type your question. Please type your question. Mostly I think I answered. If you have questions, type your question. Otherwise, no questions. Please type no questions. Yeah, but either if you have question, you type your question. If you don't have question, no question. At least either that or this. Right? I expect your answer. Any queries, questions are there? Karthikeyan, any questions? Sandeep? Okay. Sandeep, no questions. Naushad Ali, no questions. Yeah, what about others? Okay. Mohan, no questions. Okay. Indra, academic year gap means. Okay. I'll explain that. Nayana Katie, no questions. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Next. No questions. Mohan, no questions. Very good. Happy for that. Yeah. Indra, let me explain what is that year gap means. Let us say you passed out in 2016. Current your, let us say your BE passed out year, BTech passed out year is 2016. Let us say you are doing job in some other field. Now you realized that computer science is best field for your growth. So you came to IT. Now you are not a fresher. Okay. You are having year gap. Okay. So people who are not passed out in 2020, 2021 will be normally considered as year gap students. You would have done something else. Okay, but still IT industry will consider you as year gap. Okay, but still Polytechnologies can able to place you as a fresher because we are having strong tie-up with companies. They believe our training methodology, not your percentage, not your marks. Okay, most of the cases. Any, I think hopefully I'm clear. Indra, if I'm clear, please type yes. Please type yes if I'm clear. Just 1 minute. Hold on. Okay. Any other queries, questions? If you have any other queries, questions, you can ask me. Right. Right. Clear. So thank you all. But finally, I want to say one thing. So once you join in Polytechnologies, we will put sincere efforts to place you. And if we work for your placement, you will not get placed. Okay. Even you have to put your effort. You should be regular to the classes, and you should take up all assignments, test properly, and then take up all mock interviews. You can easily get a job. Okay, no doubt in that. Okay, so even though you're having less percentage, or maybe you don't have any subject knowledge, that you don't need to worry, because we will start from zero. We'll start from basics. Anyone can understand our course, and till getting first placement, Polytechnologies will be there with you. Okay, thank you all. So if you have any queries, questions, you can ask me. So my mobile number, even at any point of time, if you are having any queries regarding anything, you can happily contact me. I am Lokanatha from Polytechnologies. 9741377117 is my number. Okay, you can take photo or feed it. You can WhatsApp me also. Any point of time, any query, anything. Right. So if you are having a dilemma of what to choose, what not to choose, so obviously you can contact me, or you can contact me, that you can contact Polytechnologies team, whoever is there in contact with you. So you can contact them. Okay. In case if I am not available to answer your query, okay, sometimes I may be busy in some other things. So you can contact them. Thank you all. So I'll see you in the next session. Okay. So next session means mostly we'll be starting the classes from Monday. So you can happily enroll for the course. Thank you all. Bye bye. And what is the course number of hours? Normally, let me explain that also. If you join for our course, normally you have to spend minimum 3 to 4 hours of time with us on daily basis. Okay. So you have to full-fledgedly take our course. Okay. Right. Thank you, Mohan. So 3 to 4 hours of time. Okay. Monday to Friday. Saturday, normally test will be there, or maybe mock interview will be there. Some activity will be there. Okay. If not, sometimes classes will be conducted. Okay. You should be ready to attend the classes anytime. Okay. So because we want you to put your sincere efforts till getting first placement. Thank you all. Bye bye. I'm signing off. Class timings. Yeah. Class timings, they will communicate. Okay. They will communicate. Okay. If you want, you can communicate to me. Okay. So I'll help you in WhatsApp. Thank you. Bye.